Hello and welcome back to the beautiful confines of the River Severn, beautiful Iron Bridge, brought to you in association with a man in a strange pair of glasses and a Pink Floyd t-shirt. What more could you possibly want from life? It's a long chapter and I'm going to allow myself a couple of stumbles and bumbles along the way, but hey, it's middle of September, it's raining here in England, we're on the banks of the River Severn in beautiful Iron Bridge. And here's a chapter entitled Ash's Summer Musings Volume 3, Aussie Rules OK? Saturday the 8th of July 2023. As sure as night follows day, yesterday's mercury busting heatwave day here in the UK was sure to be followed by today's torrential rain showers and thundery, lightning streak storms. There was seemingly no escape save for brief respites in between these storm showers, and whilst I watched the early morning rain beat down here in central England, 100 or so miles away at Headingley in Yorkshire, the covers were permanently on and play nigh on impossible on the third day of the Ashes Test match between England and Australia. This is nothing new for a now 4 decades plus veteran of watching and playing cricket, but frustrating nonetheless, evoking memories of skipping school as a youngster because my home county of Hampshire were playing a vital cup semi-final, only for the day to be washed out, and I, coughing and spluttering, desperately hoping my mother would allow me another day from the rigours of schoolwork and another day off, as now day following night and the sunshine sure to return, I could now watch the rearranged game the following day. From a trial for my county at 16 through to playing 3 times a week to bunking into my city's only cricket ground to watch my county, to visiting that very same ground for a fixture on the day a quarter of a century ago when Princess Diana was murdered, tragically killed surely, current affairs editor. Cricket and watching cricket are milestones in my sporting life. Playing for a Sunday league team called the Zombies, who were all of county standard, or a works team on a drizzly, dank and dark Wednesday evening when all we could think of was warming ourselves beside the fire of a local pub and the aftermatch pizza, to stumbling drunk into a pub full of alluring female strippers that weren't in fact strippers, or indeed, as it turned out, female. I have tales as old as time when the rain falls and cricket is an impossible mission only fit for Tom Cruise. But as the rain teemed down the window panes of a Saturday morning when I was excitedly awaiting the latest day of Ashes cricket from Yorkshire, I did what any self-respecting sports mad man would do. I watched Australian Rules football instead. I'm a lapsed fan of the more familiarly known Australian Rules football, and from the first broadcasts here decades ago here in the UK of this rugby, football, smash your opponent in the mouth mashup, I became a fan of the Hawthorn Hawks purely on their brown and gold striped jerseys, and I'm unsurprised to report they remain reassuringly rubbish. Currently residing in 16th place out of 18 on the AFL ladder, Hawthorn are well below both of today's teams, the Saints of St Kilda and the Demons of Melbourne, in what was billed on the other side of the world as Saturday night footy, but here in the UK it was of course 10:30 AM in the morning. Being a fan of the twisted world of the time matrix, and of course watching cricket through the night when it's morning in Pakistan, India, New Zealand or indeed Australia, please see my 2023 cricket book Ashes to Ashes for further evidence of this cricket watching madness. This was also nothing new for me, and if you think I'm veering off the topic of cricket you'd be badly mistaken, for Shane Warne, the much missed king of spin and avuncular voice as a cricket commentator for many a long night during an Australian mauling of England on the other side of the world, was originally a fan of the Hawthorn Hawks before changing his allegiance to the Saints of St Kilda when a young man and before he became a professional cricketer. I miss Warney and his open, kind-hearted spirit, and although his treasured St Kilda were trounced by those dastardly demons from Melbourne today, I'm sure the old rogue was watching from on high, spinning a cricket ball from hand to hand as only the king could. After the behinds, marks, disposals and goals of Saturday night Australian Rules football on a rain-soaked Saturday morning in England, I turn for comfort to that grand old tradition and institution of cricket here in the UK of Test Match Special once more. whilst the voices on the radio told tales of thundery rain showers in Yorkshire and play impossible until well in the evening, if at all, the team at the more commonly known TMS are past masters at filling time on rainy days such as these, and this morning, and oh so pleasingly, they turned to Australian veteran broadcaster Jim Maxwell and asked their legions of fans to send in their questions for a commentator who secured his first job, and the job he always desired, in the year I was born, as I moved the camera. Recovering from a stroke, Jim told tales of not giving in despite the life-changing attack on his health and well-being of a few years ago, his first tour to England in 1972, and of Shane Warne, the Sydney cricket ground still being his favourite ground in all the world, and pleasingly, and in a way only Jim can, introducing the quaintly old-fashioned and quintessentially English shipping forecast, and how he finds it all faintly absurd. I hope I haven't offended anyone more than once. He joked as he finished a brilliant, laughter-filled half an hour as the rain continued to fall, both here and in Yorkshire. And long may your recovery continue, Jim, and long may you reign in the commentary box. With one of those brief respites in the Saturday rain showers and desperate to watch some cricket, I treated myself to an hour's play at my local club, and I arrived with my local team in deep, deep trouble. Wellington were playing host to Chirk, and the mismatch was evidenced by my local team being 101 for 9 when I arrived and teetering on being immediately bowled out. Thankfully, a last wicket partnership of over 50 saw them finish with 158, and after a brief changeover between innings, Chirk, from across the squiggly border in Wales and famous for its beautiful castle and World Heritage Site accredited canal aqueduct, reached 18 for no wicket in reply before, yes, you've guessed it, the rain returned. Spits and spots became a torrential thundery shower that saw my departure and seemingly an end to my pursuit of cricket today, but at 4:45 precisely, England and Australia took to the field at Headingley and their Ashes battle duly recommenced for 1 over. Following a 15-minute delay, as yet another heavy rain shower passed overhead, the teams emerged once more, and this time, thankfully, it was for good, and a 2+ hour session of cricket Australia would have been pleased to avoid and for England to take advantage of. With heavy overnight clouds and muggy, sultry conditions, it was perfect for bowling, and an England team desperate for Australian wickets, and yet again, as has seemed constant throughout this Ashes series, England had the best of conditions, with Australia having to bat in the very worst. With an overnight lead of 142 runs heading into the now rain-delayed third day, Stuart Broad, Chris Wokes and Mark Wood all snagged vital wickets as Australia struggled against a fiery onslaught from England under the darkest of clouds that slowly lifted as they limped to a final all-out total of 224, setting England 251 runs to win. From dark clouds and bowler-friendly conditions to the brightest of end-of-day sunshine and the best possible batting conditions, England opening batsmen Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett eased their way comfortably to 27 for no wicket to crucially remain not out overnight, and all 10 England wickets intact ahead of their run chase tomorrow morning for a series and Ashes saving 224 runs for victory. Quite simply, England have to get these runs tomorrow, or else the Ashes is over, Australia have won, and the final 2 matches of the deadest of unwelcome rubbers await. From the now sunshine of Yorkshire, we immediately crossed at the end of play at 7:30 p.m. to the home of cricket at Lord's in London, and the 4th match in the Ladies Ashes series, and 2 things were abundantly clear. 1, the England ladies simply had to win to keep their quest for the Ashes alive, and 2, it was raining. Inserted into bat by England skipper Heather Knight, I joined the Australian innings with the score at 99 for 4 with just 6 overs remaining in their innings of this IT20 match, and with every batter getting a start if not a huge score, Australia ended their 20 overs on 155 for 7, setting England 156 to win in a game they simply couldn't afford to lose. Then the rain came again, in buckets. With a reduced target for victory of 119 from just 14 overs, England's star player throughout the series so far, Danny Wyatt, scorched a quick-fire 26 from just 14 balls to kickstart the innings, and although there was a mini collapse as England neared their victory target, Alice Capsey's brilliant 2 runs a ball 46 from just 23 balls ultimately sealed a much-needed victory for Headingley's England ladies by 5 wickets, and in front of a record crowd of over 21,000 at Lord's. All in all, Saturday the 8th of July was some day in this sporting summer of 2023. With the weather forecasted to return to something resembling the sunshine of summer tomorrow, my attention will return once more to Ben Stokes and his England team desperately needing a victory to keep alive their Ashes series before Wednesday, and the return of the ladies' Ashes with the score now 6-4 in favour of Australia. But with this evening's crucial victory, that particular Ashes battle is alive and well. Here's hoping Ben and the boys can do likewise tomorrow. I've endeavoured throughout the summer to split my reporting on the men's and ladies' Ashes to keep them separate, but after a day such as today, all bets are off. Similarly, whilst the ladies recommence battle on Wednesday at Bristol, I shall be spending that day in the company of my beautiful son and at the cinema as we aid Tom Cruise in his latest impossible mission to save the world. If we succeed, I'll see you then. This message will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3... And that was another couple of stumbles, but I'm going to allow myself the luxuriating beauty of being beside the River Severn in Ironbridge. Another chapter from my self-published book, The Spirit of Cricket. An upside-down journal from the 2023 Ashes. That was a dramatic fall of the book, wasn't it? I'm sat on a fishing peg, number 13. It's very cramped. It's the best camera angle I can get. But hey, we're by the River Severn. We're here in Ironbridge. The bells of St Luke's Church have just chimed. I think it's just gone noon, maybe 11 o'clock, noon, I don't know. The rain's easing off. I may well be here for some time yet. Blimey. Oh, I love this place. I just love this place. I'm going to buy myself some old-fashioned sweets from the sweet shop shortly. And I will leave you, as I always do, in peace and in solidarity. And thanks for watching this madness beside the River Severn. Peace, everyone.